This coverage of MWC is brought to you by Bitdefender Mobile Security. Huawei's largest tablet offering here at MWC can do more than you might think. Hey, it's Joshua Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And this is the Huawei MediaPad M1. The design of the 8-inch MediaPad M1 borrows a couple of design cues from the HTC One, as is probably what you're going to think when you first take a look at this tablet. But it does rock the look very graciously, and the end result is still an overall good-looking tablet, so maybe it doesn't matter as much. The M1 is just 7.9mm thick, which is less than most devices competing in its class. It's also pretty light for an 8-inch tablet at 329 grams. We are looking at an all-metal device with a clean design that has a premium feel beyond its mid-range specification sheet, and it is also available in gray and white. Now, the front of the M1 is especially pretty, with the very large screen and also the thin vertical bezels that plenty of people do favor greatly. The 8-inch IPS LCD display of the MediaPad M1 has a resolution of 1280 by 800, translating it to a pixel density of about 189 ppi. Now, that is pretty low for most standards, but we do need to keep in mind the price tag of this device. This is really just an average display for all intents and purposes, but that could still be just fine for plenty of users out there. The MediaPad M1 is also powered by an in-house made high-silicon quad-core processor clocked in at 1.6 GHz, and combined with 1 GB of RAM, the processor should do a good job of powering the user interface, though we won't really vouch for more intense activities like, let's say, multitasking and high gaming. You do get the option of 8 or 16 GB built in, but you can also add additional storage thanks to the micro SD card slot. And as far as the camera goes, you get a pretty basic setup: a 5-megapixel main shooter and a 1-megapixel front camera for video calls and the occasional selfie. And as far as the battery life goes, you do get a pretty sizable 4800 mAh battery that should power it for quite a long time. And finally, when it comes to the software, the Emotion UI Android overlay on the MediaPad M1 is designed to be as easy to use as possible, hence the lack of an app drawer that's present on most Android devices. I do understand, however, if that's a bit of a turnoff for some of you out there, but it is a motif of Huawei software. Instead, all of the apps are shown on the home screen, and unless you do a little bit of organization, it could get a little bit cluttered. Huawei also went for a very bright and colorful aesthetic with their software, which was rather easy on the eyes. Overall, it does get the job done, and you should be able to get quite a bit done in this software without really too much fuss at all. In the end, this is still a tablet, but it is capable of taking SIM cards, connecting to mobile data networks, and taking calls and doing SMS messages. And that does put the MediaPad M1 on a rather unique scale. And in the end, we do kind of like what we see. So this is Joshua Vergara from Android Authority reporting to you live from the Mobile World Congress here in Barcelona, Spain.